6. Hello there. How's it going, fam? Look what I just found. That's right, fam. Just found this. Should we try it out? Oh, wow. Less than 5 ingredients with a scan me for a free airdrop. Here's the magic part, fam. Got it right here. Give it a go. Whew. That was amazing. Refreshing. All the salts you need in your electrolyte premix. Definitely check out Crypto Rush now. It even has a bonus creatine. That's right, got to build those strong muscles, help with all that muscle recovery. Crypto Rush gives you the rush that you need to propel yourself throughout the day. Crypto Fam Radio, I'm your host Mountain Dew. Let's go get some Crypto Rush now. Have about a little less than an hour, but thank you so much for joining me, Jess. It's so good to see you again, fam. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to the audience? Tell us a little bit about who you are, how you help people, and maybe a little more about the business that you have that you're trying to build as well online. Thank you.
Okay, so I have my cat.
Oh, I love cats. Oh my God.
Jack's here.
My cat.
Always keeping company.
Love it.
So I'm Jess. So nice to connect with you all.
Yes.
And what am I up to? What am I building?
Yeah.
So, okay, we're building a lot. And if you know, in Aries, we go for things, and I go for a lot of things. And this season, I want to go for things and finish them. So
follow through.
So I'm focusing on a poetry book in this moment. And that's for me personally. And of course, I'm down to make some money.
Of course. Gotta be sustainable.
There's that. It's like for my heart. I'm like, I just gotta close this chapter, these 10 chapters, really. Close these 10 chapters, get it on paper. I'm going through all my old journals, handling that literally this week. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Okay, we're gonna put it in this chapter, we're gonna put it in that chapter. And then the next adventure is really planting big seeds in my business called the Cocoon Space. Originally, she was an in-person space back in Staten Island. I turned my living room area, I had a side apartment at my mom's house.
Wow.
And it was like makeshift. It was awesome. I loved it. I painted the bathroom pink. I turned the living room into the Cocoon Space with this really fluffy, beautiful rug. And then I ended up moving to Queens soon after. So now the Cocoon Space is virtual.
Okay. Very cool. So what's the idea behind the Cocoon Space? Can you break that down for me a little bit? Yeah.
So it's a cocoon, like the butterfly, before it emerges out is in the cocoon, but it literally transforms from one aspect to a completely new aspect. So that larva, right, to the butterfly. And so the cocoon is like the space to go into and to like incubate and nourish yourself and transform. And then you come out and you're the butterfly. But you could still hang out around the cocoon / in the cocoon, even if you've, done your little butterfly effect, right?
Sure.
And so that's my online brand. And what does that? That pretty much consists of online mentorship 6 months to a year with me, as well as group programs. And like I just finished up Shakti series with a few women, which is beautiful, learning about how to harness and hone their creative potential and their creative energy so it doesn't go sideways and leak everywhere, right? And ADHD is a real thing, and I think it's has to do with the mood, and also has to do with like boundaries around where we're letting ourselves kind of go. And so that was Shakti series, and then I have a wait list going for Poetry for Lovers. So there's a few different aspects that you can, like different portals, if you will, that you could dive into and work on something specific. So it's mostly for women. I still work with men as well, but
Right.
it's the container for your transformation and healing, because I do a lot of healing work. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'd love to get more into the healing aspect. Like, how do you heal people specifically, like within your business?
So I definitely bring in God, and I use that word often.
So spiritual,
Yeah,
like
so
spiritual
it's
healing. Okay.
for sure. And the cat's tail always wants to be in everything.
Of course.
So okay, so there's two ways I look at this.
Hmm.
The first way is by meditation practices
Mm,
and getting quiet and receptive to kind of hear the guidance that God wants to share with you, right?
yeah.
There's that. And then there's the Reiki aspect, the energy work aspect, where in a way I act as a channel, but also God is just doing the work regardless. Like, if you look back on like Jesus being the healer and, him healing with his hands, with his voice, with his eyes, and then people touching his cloak, like he was the ultimate
Mm,
hands-on healer. And so I feel like there's some Jesus behind Reiki for sure. And it's funny because one of the lineages I practiced in, Usui, so it's like Usui Reiki, but then there's like Holy Fire. There's an aspect of that, which is like, you know, there's, like it says, different lineages. So Holy Fire talks about how Jesus came to William Lee Rand and
mhm,
said, we need to upgrade this. And I want you, so it's like Christ consciousness in the
mhm,
upgrade in a sense. And so my lineage or my training has to do with both. And so one believes in God just doing the work, the other believes in us being the channel. So I believe in both, essentially. And, well, how does it work? It's like you lay down, what the Reiki aspect is, you lay down, I said
mhm.
an intention prayer, and then lay hands on different areas of the body, stand there, breathe, meditate, receive information, which is the intuit part. And then we go and we talk about it at the end.
Beautiful. Wow. So let us back up a little bit. Like, how did you come up with this whole process of wanting to do this and then like creating a business around this whole spiritual aspect, the service that you provide for people?
So when I was 20, I was applying to dental hygiene school,
Okay.
and
Very different.
very different. I've been living these like alternate realities, if you will. And
Okay.
I've just been like starting to like really let all the lives melt together, if
Mm,
you will. So when I
interesting.
was 20, I was going to dental hygiene school, but
Mhm,
I was dating someone at the time, and his aunt, I'd mentioned something about yoga, and she goes, "Oh my God, I know somebody, and they have a yoga school." She's
mm,
like, "Check her out." Dana Trixie Flynn, shout out. So from Laughing Lotus NYC, and this was
mm,
a studio in Chelsea. And
okay.
I just like went on their website. It's like 200-hour training for the month of August or July. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going. Like, didn't even think twice. That's how I buy things. I'm like, okay, I'm going.
Yeah.
And it was like the most amazing, like cathartic, eye-opening, heart-opening experience of my life.
Mm,
And I felt like I was just like crying every day, like stretching my body, opening, like I was like, what's going on? And I also made a friend in Florida. She got paired up with me.
mhm,
Um, so I did this yoga training, right?
mhm,
And then a year later, 6 months later, I don't know, you just say yes to one thing and then the next thing reveals itself,
mhm,
and the next thing and the next thing. So soon after, I did more trainings there. And then I was being drawn to singing and bhakti yoga, and then being drawn to the healing aspect, like more yin things, like more like slow it down, because this type of yoga was very like dancey, exciting, breath for breath movement, vinyasa flow. Like it was a
mhm.
party. in the yoga room, right?
Love it.
And so I started to get more drawn to the more slow stuff. And so Reiki found me in some way.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, cool. I'm doing a training, level 1. I was like, what is this? This is so interesting. I'm like 21 years old now. So it's like a year later. And then I went on like level 2. And at the time, I still was very skeptical. I was like,
Mm.
I feel it. This is cool. But like, how do I explain this?
Mhm.
And so that was the start of like really, yeah, the stepping stones. And the people, like, even to explain it to the people around me, I started to bring it into my classes. At the end, I would give everyone like a head massage, and then I would start to bring Reiki into it. And like it's like one of those free will things. Like I would like to say it like, hey, I'm gonna offer this. If you want it, let me know. If you don't, let me know. But also, like, someone's not going to accept something if they're not open to accepting, even if I like kept quiet and like, so
Right.
like, Reiki, like, in a sense, it's like, we all have free will. It's just like, if you don't want something, you're not going to get it, you know?
Makes sense.
So yeah, that's kind of how kind of
Wow.
how it started. And then, yeah, I just kept doing more trainings and like, kind of like call them upgrades.
Hmm.
And the experience of those classes and trainings were always so transformational for me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, you wanted to take these transformations you had with your own self and share that with others and create a service around that.
Yeah, so it's like you go so I probably did about 5 trainings total.
Okay.
One of my teachers, Ashley, we started working more online,
Hmm.
and it's like when you're in the training, you lay down, you get your transmissions of the Reiki, like it tuned into your soul, if you will.
Hmm.
Forget the wording they use. But it's like a transition and an upgrade, and you go through this little journey in your meditation. And
Mm.
like the specific things that I was experiencing during that time, relationships or situations, and then you're in that experience and you're like, wow. Oh. So I try and keep it for myself first, but I
Right.
know the potency and the power of what I'm receiving. And
Hmm.
then it's like, oh, I want people to get a
You want,
taste of this too.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I actually have done my own level 1 and level 2 training, like probably like 5 years ago, where I had like 13 students come. It was like around
Wow.
COVID time. It was wild. It was so fun. It was supposed to be in person, but it got pushed online.
Got
But
you.
it still
Yeah, during the
works.
COVID. Yeah, it still works either way. Like, is it better if it's in person or does it matter? Or what do you think?
I mean, I would say it's better because of the human touch
Oh,
aspect,
of course. Makes sense.
but you could still experience it online. Like half of my trainings were online and they were still just as powerful, you know?
Totally, totally. And I think it comes down to just the mindset and wanting to learn, willing to open up yourself and experience this message that you're giving them, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
And
when you say yes to it, it's like you
yeah,
open that door. I'm gonna get my tea.
you open the door. No, you're good. I've got my coffee, so we're good. We're just having like a little fireside chat right now. So
My favorite way to talk. It's
there you
funny that
go.
you had
What's up?
invited me on this because
Why is that?
I just started a podcast too.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you need a guest, let me know. I'm a perfect guest for you. And
I
I'm more
might
than
have
happy to
to.
share. Yeah, we can do a little cross promotion. Honestly, this podcast won't come out for like another month or so. That's how backed up I am with just people. Like I've
Busy
got 6 or
guy.
7 episodes. But like I said, not about me, about you. Let's go back to
No, I
your
love it. I love
life.
it.
But I'd love talk to me more. You brought up meditation a few times, and I feel like this is a big daily practice for you. So I'd love to chat more about your morning routine, like a typical morning routine for you,
Oh,
and how you, I guess, set yourself up for success for your day.
okay. So good question because today I slept in like a baby
You
and I
did.
was dreaming so much.
Oh, we could talk about your dreams later too. That sounds
Yeah.
exciting. Oh, hey, kitty.
Jack is our guest here.
Aw,
So,
love it. Go for it.
um, Okay, so the ideal version and the current version is going to be very different.
Of course, ideally.
I'm going to give him a piece of this waffle.
There you go. That's a
Okay,
good
so y'all are catching me post slept for 11 hours.
Today doesn't
Much
count.
needed. And we're eating our waffle right now. Okay,
Aw,
so
cute.
on a typical day, like when I'm a dental hygienist. I was full time
Mhm.
and now I'm part time. And
Nice.
so I'm busy. It's funny how busy I am.
Mm.
And I'm like not working 5 days a week, but I think it's like that kind of like scattered energy, like when different things are asking of you or pulling from you, it takes a lot more energy to, it feels like it's a lot more energy. I think once I'm in a really good rhythm, it's gonna feel different. But right now, my rhythm is to wake up right now I around like 8 and then have like 2 hours to myself in the morning, like no phone. I try to have my phone off and then maybe do like a little stretch, sit with tea, which we're gonna do. But just sitting with a cup of tea, like last night I had a big evening practice, which is like sit in the tub and I had my tea there. And I was just like melting in the water and I was like, wow, I haven't had a bath in forever. And so that was like a more of an evening ritual. And so the morning time would be like sit with tea, meditate, journal. Keep it really simple. And then as soon as I turn my phone on, like I have to really kind of like contain that energy because you get pulled in so many different directions. So I try and stay on my list of like, okay, do I have is it client calls today? Do I need to write a sales page? What are we selling this week? What are we selling this month? And so it's a lot of like organization, like marketing. So that's like going to be my typical day is like every day has a different energy though. So right now I'm still working hygiene. So Fridays and Saturdays is hygiene. And then we have Sunday, Monday, I'm off. Tuesday is client day for sure, or like calls with people. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm still feeling into the energy, but I am in some programs. So mid-afternoon on a Wednesday, like I have 2 programs back to back that I'm a part of, like a student of. So it's like, it's going to formulate, but Tuesdays, I definitely want clients. Thursdays, probably, sometimes I'll pick up a random hygiene shift like I did yesterday and then make some money quick. And then go back to my schedule.
I love that. Absolutely love that. So it seems pretty consistent every once in a while, a little sporadic, but it sounds like you keep it pretty busy.
Yeah.
Like,
I definitely
busy.
keep it busy. I mean, I think that's just part of like I'm trying to not keep it so busy, but I think this is the transition period. Like I do want to slow down a bit in the way of like sitting with tea and journaling, like not having to feel like I need to write a poem or I mean the poems just come, but like having to like share something online. Like I really enjoy the creative process because it's different. Different than that marketing process or the more masculine processes,
Right, for sure. Hi, Jax.
Jack, come over here. He's like looking for food, of course.
Oh, okay.
This is when I usually kick him out of the room.
Aw,
But
yeah.
he's my buddy these days.
My cat is just totally passed out. I bring her out and show you. I've got a little black cat, Stella, my black magical cat, but she's asleep during this time till about 2:33 when she's meowing me to feed her. It's her feeding time. But yeah. Anyway, so absolutely love that you keep busy. Active is attractive. Freaking love it. I'd love to talk about your practice of your business, essentially your marketing practice, right? And this is why I call it a practice, because you're constantly having to market yourself, right? You are building essentially a personal brand within your business. You're building yourself to show others, to showcase them, hey, this is what you can get out of this service that I'm providing for you. So why don't you share with me a little bit more about your business, how you've shared with me how you help people. Now tell me how you take that and you make content out of that and how you reach the certain target market that you want to reach to book those clients and to show up for them like you're showing up for yourself.
I think I'm going to put him out just because he's taking all over the show.
Okay. But that's the question.
Okay.
All right. So
All
take it
right.
away,
Good
Jess.
question. Good question. I'm making my makeshift
You're
table.
good. You're good. You're good.
Okay. So, um, first off, I'm excited to see what this looks like, and I'll have to pick your brain about the back end. I always love the structure of things.
Mhm.
So going back to your question, so it's like, okay, we introduce the business. Repeat the last part of that. It's like, now how do you do marketing, correct?
Pretty much the sum of it, and the content that you create in your target market. Like, how do you attract those certain clients to your business?
Okay, so the first thing is the embodiment of what you're selling
Mm,
and who you are as a person.
mm,
Like, are you bringing that to the table? But the embodiment of what you're selling, so it's like, for instance, devotion is my year-long mentorship that I'm launching right now. And we'll probably launch it for about a month or two. 2 months is max, or until X amount of people sign up. And once like all those spots are filled that I have in mind, I'm shooting for, I feel like eight. Eight feels good. Eight's my favorite number, but like 8 people one-on-one, right?
okay.
And so for a whole year, we're going to be walking together.
Wow.
But the intention is devotion.
Mm,
And so it's like, I first reflect on my own aspect of devotion, like even the definition. And then it's like, what do my practices look like? What am I devoted to? And really like steeping in that. And for instance, like one of the things that is coming up for me is like, how can we be so devoted to my path and my work without the outer distractions?
mm,
And so, for instance, like, maybe not saying yes to dates, or giving my number out to multiple people, or entertaining 1 foot energy, like people that are like interested in you, but they come and they disappear. So it's like, y'all are distractions.
mm,
Why? Because we're devoted to, one, what I'm creating, but two, my own path and my own direction right now, but also to my students.
mm,
So that's just one of the lessons that's coming up for me in the portal of devotion. Because like we go through this portal when we share something, when we launch something, when we bring it out into the world, like it works, us and we work it. So it's like this,
synergy almost.
yeah, this play. Exactly.
Okay.
And so I'm getting the downloads and the messages as the days go on, and then I'm like, okay, let's tweak the sales page, let's put this in. Oh, it's really for this type of person. Oh, okay. And then like possibly past versions of myself.
Mm,
And so it's really about devoting oneself to their path and not giving up, not
mm,
abandoning their business, not coming up with 100 excuses. Like the excuses are pathways to go deeper, right?
mm,
And so when I'm working with people one-on-one,
mhm,
we come, like I open this space with a prayer. We come, it's like, bring it all. Like, what's coming up for you? What are you coming up against? Like mindset, emotions. What do you feel like is distracting you? And then also getting into relational work, because that is huge in
mm,
how we relate to our audience, how we relate to our romantic partners,
yep.
and then our creative potential, and like kind of bringing some of that Shakti teachings in. Like, okay, how are you taking care of your creativity and your channel, which is your body? And we're an instrument to create, and we're an instrument to, connect with the divine. And what does that look like for that person? And the devotion aspect is very much connected to spirituality and God. And I sent my sales pitch to my mentor. She goes, wow, this sounds really religious. She's like,
Hmm.
but maybe you want it to sound like that, but it's not that I wanted to sound religious. It's I used God in like a lot of contexts, but it's more spiritual than religious. Although I, love going to church and having my community there, but it's not about who I think God is. It's about who you think God is. And then how do you connect with God in your way? And can I support you in that process? Yeah. So that's just like one aspect of, that's devotion. So that's like the embodiment. That's one piece of the marketing. And then the other piece of it is like speaking to the person that it's designed for.
Got you. So it sounds to me like it's a very personal experience for each client, like that you bring to the table in many ways. Like everyone's very
Yes.
different in their needs, and you try to meet them where you try to meet their needs based off of a very personal relationship with your clients. So you're very personal, which I really like. I think a lot
Yes.
more business owners need that type of insight when they sit down with their clients and really work with them. For my business is very different because I'm offering certain services that actually help projects build a community on Web3 and crypto, right? So in a lot of ways, I do what you do, but I do it differently, I guess, with founders that are very too busy, let's say, for creating their own content or too busy with some other aspects. And I help them on this journey of basically being their advertising consultant, trying to market their projects in such a way that speaks to certain target markets and pulls them into their community. So they want to build whatever and help build whatever they're building, right? But with you, I really like that you're very intentional with your clients. And I'm thinking a lot of that intention goes with how you show up for yourself, right? Before you show up for others. And so I feel like you've done the work, you've done the inner work that a lot of people haven't done yet. And so when clients are coming to you, when you're onboarding, and this is something that I asked before, I wasn't sure if you touched on it, your target market, is there like a specific niche, like a specific pain point that people are coming to you of like, I really need to work on this and I want you to help me with this? And do you feel like you're hitting that same pain point with that same type of person every time? Or where do you find more in line? Because you said women are mostly your target market, right? But like, is there a specific demographic of women that need your help? Or like, can you share with me a little bit more about that?
It's interesting because back when I was doing yoga, when I was teaching yoga, I was like, what, 20 years old. My demographic was like women that were like over 40. Like I was
Older
teaching,
women.
I was teaching older women in the studio. Yeah.
Interesting.
And it was great. And it's so funny because I had this little complex during that time of like, wait, I'm like half their age. Like, am I like equipped for this? Like, those ideas come in. And then I like led a retreat and I had people like even older than me too. And then, but it's not about the age. It's about where someone's at in their life. Sure. Right. And so back in my 20s, I felt like my demographic was more of like women over 40. Right. And then now I feel like it's women that are closer to my age. I'm 32. And so I would say like closer to around my age. And I feel like I attract, like being an entrepreneur is literally since I was like 5 years old. I was like, how can I make money? Like, Ma, let me massage you. Give me 50 cents. Like, you just come out of the womb. Like, you just come out. Like, I don't know. Entrepreneurs are like, they just are.
Same way. I know. How can I make money off this?
But at the same time, like, my creative friends have taught me, like, it's not about the money. It's about like the connection and the creativity and the making the magic, and which like that comes before the money in a sense. But they taught me like big lessons with that, and which I am so appreciative. But it's just like the way my mind works, And so I feel like I attract women, artists, entrepreneurs, and people that are on the other brick road, like the one that's not so mainstream. Like we like we want to be naked in the forest, like we want to step on grass, like we want to drink tea all day, we want a bathtub outside to look at
Okay.
the stars, like,
Okay.
you know, just like very, you know, like whimsical,
Okay.
alternate like realities, if you will, from like people living in the city.
Sure.
But
Which
even
you
like the
are.
people in the city, we still find the grass, like we still
Right.
find the backyard spaces and make it
Yeah.
work. But
Yeah.
it's just like living life in a slower, more intentional way,
Mm.
but also being able to make money, thrive, and in a sustainable aspect, in a sustainable way.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love, you know, when you were describing that, the picture that came to my mind of you was like this setting of like you have this farm in the middle of nowhere and you're just growing your garden and you have your animals and you're just living your best life, being sustainable. And I feel like that's what you're doing online with your business. Essentially, you're bringing this like dream to reality by fostering these connections, and you're building relationships with these women that want that type of lifestyle, you know, which I think is really, really fascinating, because I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of us want that. A lot of us don't want to do the 9 to 5 grind, right? A lot of us don't want to work the same job every single day. You know, it's like we want something more. And I feel like what you offer is that more. And that's why a lot of ladies, young women, even older women are attracted to your business, specifically your personal brand. And I want to get more into personal branding, because I think this is really a key point and a hot take that a lot of us need to learn more. And I feel like you've been pretty much spending your entire life building a personal brand. So share with me maybe some trials and tribulation, because obviously, you know, we all have failures. You know, it's why we try again. We fail, fast forward, so we can get up and we can do it again, right, over and over, until we can build a brand that not only we resonate with, but that we're proud of and that people actually want to be a part of. So share with me more about your personal brand, how you got started, I guess, and how you built your brand from like where you are today.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I started when I was 20 teaching yoga outside at the park and the beach. And my marketing was I started an email list on paper. I had a donation jar, a glass jar. And it's like, bring a friend, show up, whatever, pay whatever you want. And like people took care of me. I would like teach an hour class on the beach.
Wow, that's
People
awesome.
would give me $20, you know? Maybe someone gave me 10, maybe someone gave me 5, but like I would walk away with like $200, sometimes $250 in 1 hour. And so I was like, wow, this is amazing. I don't even need to pay rent. So, you know, of course the weather was my boss in a sense, but
sure.
I was doing that while I was working dental hygiene. And so I had that dual income, as well as like building. I also was making jewelry at the time. So this is me going on my tangents. But essentially, go back to the question before I forget it again.
Personal branding, how you built your personal brand.
So,
you're good.
Yeah, personal branding. I mean, it's interesting because I would just show up and go on Instagram and like, you know, maybe post a video or a picture of me doing yoga, or like show my face and say, class is on tonight. This is the theme we're working through. Da 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 da. Come, this is how you pay. Or at the beginning, it was like show up and pay. Then it started to become, here's a link to pay. Here's a link to book, stuff like that. So I was very grassroots with the personal branding at the beginning, and I miss that. And I miss that. And I'm actually bringing it back this year because I'm going to be doing yoga outdoors at the park or on my roof, because I have a roof here. So I'm super excited to just make it happen, like a little scrappy vibes, like put a price on it this time, like maybe like $20, $25 per class, and just get into stretching, breathing, and make it happen. And so I feel like there's a part of me that's like, I don't want my face on everything. It's like, you know, I think about, there was this part of me that's like, oh, I want the Cocoon Space
Yeah.
to have like the show. And it's like, I'm the teacher at the Cocoon Space, right? Or the host at the Cocoon Space. And I was like, oh, maybe I should make another Instagram. And my teacher was like, no, Jess, you don't need another Instagram. You already have, I don't even think she knows that I have 4 already. But she's like, because one of them's personal, one of them's this business. And she's like, we're trying to contain you, not to stress you. And I'm like, okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So with the personal branding, it's like, I am the personal brand, but it's like, I want to kind of bring the Cocoon in to be like, the Cocoon presents devotion. The Cocoon presents poetry for lovers versus like me presenting, which like, it's fine for me to present it. I guess like, I'm just in this like transitionary phase of like, yes, I'm a personal brand, but like, am I trying to make a brand? You know? Maybe you could give me your 2 cents.
Well, I feel like everyone needs a personal brand, though. Everyone needs an identifier. Like, there's no other Jess Moroz that I know, right? And it's like, that's a good thing.
Amen.
Because without you, you have no business, right? Like, you're the face of your business, essentially. And I think people like that. People want personalities. People want they want to relate to you, right? They want to like you, trust you, and eventually pay you. This is good marketing. This is good business. So having your face, as much as you don't want your face or record yourself. And I know a lot of women, especially, well, men as well, they're insecure about maybe their looks, about the business that they're trying to create. And so overcoming that by being consistent, showing yourself, showing up for yourself, even doing TikTok lives or doing IG lives, that helps overcome that fear. But still, at the end of the day, it's like, this is what you have to do if you actually want to build a brand now online. Like, you have to show your face. Like, that's like a prereq, right? So as much as you don't want to, you have to, because if you don't, then people aren't going to see you and they're not going to understand what you're essentially selling. Right. And it's like, if you're not selling, what are you doing? You know, it's like you're providing something.
If you're not selling, what are you doing? Love it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, definitely. It's a hot take, right? And it's like, and from what I've seen too, it's like you're either building or you're selling. Right. And there's a lot of people that can do one or the other. There's very rare people that can do both very well. So it's like, what do you want to do at the end of the day? Do you actually want to build something amazing? Like building, when I mean building, like coding, like developing, like doing the back end stuff. Right. But then you need those salesmen, right? You need the marketers out in the real world that are going to sell this product, essentially this service. And this is why I'm so important in what I'm doing over in crypto land, right? So it's like trying to, and a lot of developers, you know, they don't like talking. They don't want to be in front of the camera. This is why they pay me to do that, right? So it's like, I guess bringing it back to you and your business, though, you're essentially kind of doing both, though, because you're building, you're doing your marketing thing, right? Like, you have to build your posts. You have to create. Your creative is as important as your communication. Right. And so how you handle both of those skills, and I call them a skill. All right. Like, I feel like there's very, very rare times in people's lives that there's actual talent out in the real world. I feel like a lot of what we see nowadays, it comes back to skills. We have to repeatedly, over time, through discipline, show up and build our communication skills, build our marketing skills, and build our video editing skills. Like, all these skills add up, which creates value and keeps the community coming back to us, basically to sustain what we're building, right? Through our own ecosystems, essentially, right? So I think what you have is something really personal, and it's much needed. And I feel like more people need to hear about what you have to say, right? Your truth, because it's authentic. There's no one else like you, Jess. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you. I'm just saying. It's facts. All right. And And from personal experience, I had an awakening myself last summer when I was up on that mountaintop in Colorado, doing elevation training for the Pikes Peak Marathon, running X spaces, doing these AMAs with projects, getting paid in Web3 full time. I wasn't doing anything else, Jess. I was living off just being a digital nomad, camping with my cat Stella. All right. And I took many vision quests. All right.
Love it.
And I've told this story so many times. Yes. And this is one of the reasons I told myself I want to do this podcast so freaking bad. Like, this is what I've always wanted to do. If I could do anything, if I could make money doing anything else, I would. But like, this is the one thing that I've always wanted to do, besides all the other stuff I have to do to survive. Like, if I could just do this and get paid to do it, basically is what I'm saying, I would want to do this, right? Just talk to people and get paid to do it. Like, this is my dream, right? And so you're doing, so we're both doing what we love. It's just the money will come later. We have to be validated. Social proof is a thing, right? So it's like we have to keep being consistent, right? So consistency is key.
For sure.
Consistency. Yeah. So being a content creator, I'm not going to get paid for my first post. I might not even get paid for my 1 millionth post, but that's not the whole reason I'm posting. The posting helps me redefine who I am as a person, but it helps me figure out who my target market, who is my community, who is my tribe, right? And trying to attract rather than detract, right? You're attracting every time you create a post. When people connect with you, a comment, like, or a bookmark, whatever, those are your people. They resonate with your message. So building your message is key when you're building your personal brand. And I feel like you have gotten to the point where your messaging has gotten really good because you have spent years, you see what I'm saying, developing your skill. You've built your brand for over 10 years. Think about it. You started when you were 22, right? You said 20, 22?
Yeah, 20 with the yoga, 22 with, I did my first retreat. Yeah, 20. 20. And then it just got deeper and deeper. I think like 25, 26 was like COVID time. And then I got pushed online. And then I really learned about that. Like, one of my teachers calls it like the narrow thread. And it's like, when you're too wide, which like a lot of us are, like, I know that there's this energy of too wide with like the marketing, and she talks about and teaches like the more narrow thread, more narrow thread. And also, like, one of the things that happens to me when I'm launching something, it's like all these other ideas start to come in. I'm like, ooh. And then I'm like working on containing the main one that I'm selling. And letting the others be there and channel them, but not act on them. And that's like life. Like, you get a text message, you get something. It's like, do you need to answer right now? Do you need to react to it? And I think I'm getting that, lesson for myself too with the texting. Like, my fucking neck and back hurt me from working. And then it's like, then we're on these phones and I'm like, no, like, voice memo, FaceTime me, please. Bye.
There you go. That works. And I'm thinking with AI, it's going to help us in a lot of ways become the soulpreneurs that we've always wanted to be, right? Because honestly, we don't really have to build a team. We just have to have a team of AI to do the work for us. We could create an AI that does our digital self so we can spend more time outside doing IRL events, connecting more with people face to face.
IRL. I still love, like, I feel like, like the AI world, I haven't,
you'll get there. Don't worry. I can help you if you want.
But I know who to call. The thing is, it's like I know there's some perks there, for sure. But there will never be the, like, for instance, like in-person Reiki, hands-on, in-person massage.
Yeah. They can't replace
or even
that.
Like my assistant, like just us voice memoing about life or business, like that. I love that, and so I could see how things are going to get quicker, and they already are. And I talk to people that have businesses that are in AI and stuff like that. Some of it's over my head, but I'm like appreciative. Like, I'm learning ads right now, right, for marketing. Like, I'm in marketing school, and this is like so masculine for me that I'm like, why did I sign up for this? But I'm like, I want this skill. I want to know how to move through meta ads and know how to have things running in the background so I can live my life and I could be with my children when I have children. So it's like I'm laying down a lot of foundation right now. And like you said, the skills, like communication skills done. Like I could communicate with the tree over there. Like I talk to people for a living, you know?
Yeah, you're good
I
at
got the
that, Jess. You
communication
got
skills,
that.
like marketing and writing, like
Mhm.
I need quiet space and time for that,
Sure.
but that takes repetition. That takes like
Mhm.
really, devoted focus there.
Yes.
The marketing, paid marketing
Mhm.
and ads online, like that gets super specific too. And that's a skill that I want to know. So I don't have to go and always reach out and pay somebody else. And that's one of the things. It's like when you run your business, you need to know everything. And I know you pay people and you outsource, and I've been there. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when it's late at night and I need to fix something, I need to know how to do it.
Right. That's true. Or
Yeah.
get your AI to do it.
Thank you. I need one robot over here.
I'm just saying AI's gotten very good at ads lately too. Like what I
For
do
sure. For sure.
yeah, like I just ask my AI now, Perplexity, whatever, hey, give me great tips for how to market this certain product, and boom, I get a list of hot takes of like what's best for copywriting. Just copy paste. Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Question though, are you using a program that you pay for, or using like, what is it, Gemini or ChatGPT? Like what? I've used it twice. I said I had a big problem. I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT how to solve this. Like some bullshit.
I
But
use
yeah.
a few different AIs. So X has Grok. Grok is really great. That's an AI. And then also Perplexity AI has been really amazing. It's kind of like ChatGPT, but it's like it's free. I don't pay for any AI. Gemini I don't pay for. Well, I've got the Google Business Suite Workplace Swing, so I think I get Gemini with that.
Okay.
So so that comes with it. And then I've got another website that's called LLM Arena, and you can basically use all the AIs for free. I can actually send you that link later, and you can take a look and you can do different tests. They can like battle each other, and you can see which is the best answer based off your prompts. It's really cool. But I know we're kind of wrapping up here, Jess. You got to jump on another call here soon, but I just kind of I had a few more questions.
Go.
Trying to
Firecracker them. I'll try and be quick.
Awesome, Jess. No, you're good. I don't want you to rush, right? Like part of your whole mantra is, resetting, slowing down. This is what I love about your business, about what you're building with your own personal brand too. And so just share with me, I guess, a little bit about your future. What do you see your business in the future? How are you manifesting that? Give me like your vision board, something along the lines of like, I know you have goals. I know you have dreams. I know you're building something. So give me more of an idea, maybe a year from now, where do you see Jess Moroz, and are you still going to be in New York? Are you going to be like Bali, or like, how are you going to be doing retreats every few months?
I'm not going to give you the year. I'm going to just go for like the biggest vision that I do have.
Sure.
And I want a home in New York City for sure. Cool. I feel like it's Queens. I would love the other day I woke up and I wrote like all my like go for it dreams with the no filter. Like, we're like, oh, I'll settle for this. I'll settle for this. I was like, no, I'm writing all these things down. So I'm like, I want a home here. I want the balcony. I want the backyard. I want to park my car. I want my car back. I want a car. And like that's one aspect. I would love Euro summers. I would love European summers with my family. And I know that I will always have one-on-one clients. If there's seasons where I don't, like maybe summer's off or whatever, but I will always be working with women and men one-on-one, whether that be Reiki, whether that be, speaking life into them, and the spiritual aspect of one-on-one, and even just I'm feeling very drawn to Jesus and Mother Mary right now, and I just feel like so much support from them, and definitely the past year of living in Queens and founding a church in the neighborhood, I've made some best friends from there, and I'm just like so grateful for that community. And I'm like, wow, this is my home. And so I always want to travel and I always want to go, and I'm gonna be in Greece soon. But I'm like fine being home. Like, and it's crazy to
Mm,
say that. I think when the going gets tough, it's like my thing is to run and run and go somewhere, travel somewhere. But I'm like, I know that that's a pattern that I'm actually like seeing slowly dissolve.
mhm,
This is something we dive into in devotion, but essentially, like, I would love to have a city space, but I do want that farm. Like, I do want that land that I can be on and have my sewing room, have my creative art room, have my healing space, have the backyard, have the garden, like, but I'm able to make money while I sleep for sure. And then, like, working, I will always be working, but it's like I also want to be really present for my family. And so I feel like right now that's why I'm like so devoted to really getting specific on, like, okay, what are we building, who are we serving, get that foundation down, invite the community in and make it happen. And more comes, like, and you probably know
mm,
this, more comes when when you're walking it, right? It's like, oh, this is my ideal client, oh, this isn't, oh, this fills me up, oh, this doesn't. And so it's like I'm so at the beginning, although like I've been doing this for years, but it's like a rebirthing beginning for me. And I'm like, I'm just excited. Like, I want to be able to work in real life. Like, I want to sew clothes. I want to be with my kids. Like, I want to be with my partner, but I still want to
yeah.
be like writing books and selling things. And so, I'm open to like what God has for me. And I'm just like super grateful and thankful right now that my ex-partner got me here to Queens and got me out of the fucking huge rut I was in when I left Florida. I was like going through it when I left Florida when I even met you.
Really? I had no
Oh
idea.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh yeah.
gosh. I'm so
And
sorry.
so no, it's good. I'm like, I
Yeah,
feel good. I've unraveled a lot of that and here we are.
God. Yeah, new beginnings, right?
Literally. Always.
Oh my gosh. Well, where can people reach you, Jess? How can people get in touch with you? What socials? Like, where can people find you?
Yeah, everything is going to be through Instagram, my DMs, and at Jess Moroz, Moroz. And yeah, you'll find links on there, but just say hi.
Awesome. So you're
I
just on
love it.
Instagram mostly, or Facebook, or
Well,
where your
I mean,
business
I'm
is mostly out there?
everywhere.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty much everywhere. Like, I have my YouTube. I just started
Okay.
that podcast.
Cool.
All of those links are actually not on my Instagram, which,
Okay. You
as we're
should
talking about it, thank you.
make
Thank you.
note.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook too.
Okay.
I'm everywhere, but like
Okay.
Jess Moroz to contact me directly and see all
Hmm.
the updated things, and then
Okay.
just get on my email list because
Okay.
y'all get the first dibs.
Awesome. Oh, so you have a newsletter that goes out
Yes.
every week, weekly newsletter, or?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say every 2 weeks, but if I'm launching, then more.
Okay, beautiful. Definitely stay
Yeah,
in touch, and that's on your Instagram as well that people can
yeah,
sign up
that
also.
link is
Okay.
there. That link is there.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jess. This was a beautiful time with you. And keep in touch and let me know how your podcast goes. If you need guests, I'm totally open to sharing my story as well with you, or however you want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what your podcast is about, but I'm sure I could add some value where it's needed. But I really appreciate your time, Jess. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I miss you. Sending
Miss you
love.
too. Miss you too, Jess. Have an awesome day. All right. Take care. Bye.
Ciao.